I moved to England like 4 years ago. I backpacked in Australia for 2 years and obviously moved to England with little to no money. So got a job and started, well, looking for someone to rent. But you're talking like 1,500 a month, if even, like that's at a minimum for the location I'm in, for like a 1-bedroom house, apartment. And well, it's just it's like unrealistic. Like, so now my views about renting are like very strong. Like, I think you might as well go outside and burn money once a month. Go into your garden and put that 115 into a little pile and just set it on fire. Because there's no way that people of my age can get out of that frame of mind where they're renting to try and save enough money each month to pay their rent, their utility bills, and to save towards a deposit on a house. Even like the figures on like trying to put like a deposit on a house, it's like 10% upwards that you would need, which is unrealistic. Like, I can't tell you how long it would take me to save like 45 grand. Like, I can't give you a figure. Like, it would take me at least 4 or 5 years. And then in 4 or 5 years' time, how am I meant to know what the housing is meant to look like then? Like, there's no way for me to map a future on the figures that are there at the moment when with Brexit, because it is having a massive crisis on housing, and so is the HS2, and so is like everything that's going on, especially this area at the moment. It's hard to know what's going to happen. So I'm kind of saving for a plan that probably mightn't be a plan then.
My lifestyle is very expensive due to the hobbies and the things that I do. We all like nice things. If I lived in a house, there's no way that I could afford to do these things. If I was to stop doing it and sell all the things, I still wouldn't be enough even for a deposit for a house. I'm nearly in my 60s. Who's going to give me a 25-year mortgage? It's not going to happen. So no, I'm on the boat till the day I go, I'm afraid. If you take a 300,000 or 500,000 pound house in London and move it to Coventry, the same house, that's going to be worth, I don't know, 200,000 pound. A boat is different. If you buy a 90,000 pound boat in London and take it to Coventry, it's still worth 90,000 pound. The strange thing about boats are on the second-hand market, the resale value is all to do with the price of scrap steel. It's worth its value in scrap steel. Now, I don't mean to say that a pound of scrap steel is worth a fiver, so your boat is worth a fiver, but it fluctuates. The prices go up and down with the price of scrap steel. But there's a lot of steel in the boat. I mean, this boat in particular is 22 tonnes, so there's a lot of steel. Storage is the biggest problem we have on a boat. I myself, my hobby is classic motorcycles, of which I have 4. I can't put 4 motorcycles on a boat, so I have to beg, borrow and steal and people's space to put motorcycles. Not only that, I have to work on them as well, strip them, rebuild them, rechrome them, repaint them, and all this is going on at other people's properties, not mine. So you have to have a good circle of friends. We are continuously cruising as what I choose to do. I don't have a fixed mooring, if you like, so I don't pay a council tax. Obviously, who would I pay it to? Because I'm moving from borough to borough, from place to place. Having said that, I don't get the facilities that you guys would have in a house. I don't have lighting, I don't have refuse collection, police. No, it's never going to happen. They won't come. If I call them, I might see them in 3 or 4 days. They really aren't interested. So there's swings and roundabouts, but generally I prefer to do the way I do. If I want something, if I want heating, if I want gas, I pay for it up front. So I buy a bottle of gas and it will last me X amount. If I want gas again, I'll pay for it. It's not like I'm using it and then 6 months later, oh dear, the bills come in. You know, I sort of live hand to mouth, if you like, on a boat. There is no backup plans if all fails. Electricity, we generate our own. We've got a 5 kilowatt generator built in to run the washing machines and hoovers and whatever we might need. That'll also charge the batteries, obviously, while the generator's running. Hot water is from the hot water tank. We've also got a diesel boiler built in which runs the central heating and will, you know, heat your water. The other form of heating is a coal fire we have there, a solid fuel fire log burner. So, but there, you know, there's no contingency plans. If I don't know, I have an accident and lose a leg and I can't get on board the boat, anything happens, then really I'm stuffed. Hopefully family or friends will sort me out, because there are no contingency plans. I can't sell the boat and move back into a house. I've burnt my bridges and it's never going to happen. There is always a worry with security. With boats, it's basically where you're going to moor, there's safety in numbers. So I wouldn't pick right in the middle of a city and moor where there's no other boats. You know, I wouldn't mind mooring there for the night or whatever, as long as I'm on the boat. But I wouldn't want to go to work the next morning and leave my boat there all day. I'll be worried all day what's going to happen. So generally, if we're in a town, major city, we moor in numbers. There are more and more people I notice coming on the canal these days that aren't what I would term as boaters. They are living on a boat purely for economical reasons. They can't afford the house. They're having difficulty renting, buying, whatever. And we do see that. It's a little bit them and us. I am what you would call a boater in the sense that I want to do it. I enjoy doing it. A lot of people are forced into it. It's not for me. This is something that I wanted to do, and yeah, it's, you know, it has its good days, it has its bad days, but generally I don't want to go back to a house. I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, no, I live on the boat, and so does he, girlfriend. We live on that boat, fixing up that boat. But yeah, I don't have permanent mooring. Boats are no solution to housing problems. The problem with housing problems is most people own the land, and other people don't. So by pushing everyone into smaller and smaller spaces, they make more money out of it. Right? Super rich, they own a lot of land. Everyone else don't. So if you want to address it, you have to address who owns the land, not moving on a boat. If you want to move around, you can't move in a house. Yeah, because it don't move. You live in a caravan, but they make that harder and harder. Right? If you want to move, then yeah. If you want to be near the water, right, then yeah. But if you want to do it in exchange, instead of like, what, living in a house or something, then mate, it's not a great alternative, it's making do alternative. It's just, what else are you going to do at that time? Life is hard on the water, so the idea it's an alternative is insane. Unless you want life hard.